Going now. Welcome to another episode of the Rock Fantasy Files, and we're here doing some work with Napalm Records, and we're proud to have Hammer King on the show. Hammer King is who we're going to be chatting with today, and who am I chatting with today? Steve, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm absolutely thrilled being with the mighty Steve Keeler, who is actually quite famous in Europe. Yeah.
No, he's not. No,
he's
not.
We're all getting famous by the hour. And my name is Titan Fox, and I'm the lead vocalist and lead guitarist, one of the lead guitarists in Hammer King. This is our first album with Napalm Records, which is the reason that we're doing a lot of promotional work at the moment, way more than ever before, which I absolutely love because I love talking to people, and it's wonderful to really connect with people worldwide in a time where you cannot play shows.
Yes, of course. And, a lot of our viewers are going to be unfamiliar with Hammer King. Honestly, I am, because I had not heard from you. I reached out to Natalie over at Napalm Records, and she gives me some bands, and I'm like, yeah, sounds great. And I love promoting some of the underground bands and, and getting our word out and just spreading heavy metal, because it's what I've done all my life. Since 1979, I got out of school, and I've been selling merchandise for metal and whatnot, and you can tell how old I am now, but it's good to promote some new bands, which we've been working a lot with. And where are you guys actually from? Where are you chatting with us from today?
Well, the legend of the Hammer King says that we live in the kingdom itself, which is a fantastic place. Lots of money, everything is made of pure gold, and there's lots of girls around, of course. But actually, in the real world, we located around an area called Kaiserslautern in Germany, which is not very famous, but maybe in the United States, you might know the Ramstein Air Base, which is the largest military air base, I think, outside of US grounds worldwide. And this is directly where we work. So we all get together there from different places, maybe an hour around that. So we located around the Ramstein Air Base.
Excellent. And of course, we're here to chat about the brand new album, which we're excited to talk about. And it's self-titled, correct, Hammer King?
Yep.
And it came out already, so it's out on June 11th via Napalm Records. What can you tell us about the new album, and how does it differ a little bit from Poseidon Will Carry Us Home, which was the last release, correct?
Yep, right. I mean, we've always tried to have as many very catchy songs on one album as possible, because if there is not COVID ruling the world, we are pretty much a live band. And I mean, it's meaningful to have songs that everybody can get into when he's listening to you for the first time. So that is the reason why we really want to have catchy songs on the album, which worked perfectly on our debut album back in 2015. And it really works very well on the new one. Poseidon was what I call an album, which you can listen to start to finish, and you get a good impression of the band. But it was certainly quite tricky to place the songs in the set list for the concerts, because some of them were really quite lengthy and quite epic in a way.
Okay.
This time we went back to having very straight into your face metal, and we changed many things actually. We've always recorded with Charles Greywolf, who is the guitar player and bassist in Powell. He's got a studio quite near in our area actually. And he's still recording us, but we've changed towards Jakob Hansen, who is doing Volbeat and the Pretty Maids, of course. And he's a very, very famous producer, and we wanted to hear what he actually will do with our music. And he was into it, gladly, sent us one single song. It was the opening track, Awaken the Thunder. And I remember I listened to that song for 24 seconds. Then I stopped and I said to the guys in the band, okay, we will do this, because it was so convincing. I mean, he really made the whole thing at least one level higher or bigger if you want. So it's very, very powerful, and it sounds so large compared to what we did before. And I don't know what he does, but he really does it very well. And so we changed that. We've got Peter Salai, who's doing the artwork now. He has worked with Sabaton, and I think he might have worked with Powerwolf as well.
Excellent.
I think so.
I guess that was going to ask my other question, what you can tell your viewers about your style of music, what do we, and I mean, the website, Napalm actually called you guys royal metal. So I don't know if
Yeah.
royal metal is a version of power metal, because it sounds like, you know, with Powerwolf, of course, I love them. I love Sabaton, and this is all like the new wave of the power metal bands. You know, of course, Halloween I would consider power metal. I even consider Iron Maiden a little bit power metal back in the day, but I don't think there was even a term of power metal in the 80s.
Yeah,
but,
that wasn't, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, that style, and you know, Hammerfall, of course, and all that, and yeah, Powerwolf, another band that's on Napalm. I reached out to try to get an interview with them, but they were all booked up. So, but another band, another band that I love, and hopefully they can come to the States eventually, because I don't think Powerwolf has ever been over here.
I don't think that they have toured in the States so far.
They're becoming huge, though. Huge.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And the cool thing is that Charles is really a friend of mine. That's interesting. I got friends with Charles when they were already up and coming and quite big. But
yeah,
we did the first album with him in 2015, and when we did the second one in 2016, he said, it has changed drastically. The band is getting really big at the moment, and it's never stopped ever since. I mean, if you ask us what kind of music we play, we always say, we joked about playing royal metal because everything we do is for the king, of course. But I am fine with the label power metal. Although, as you just said, I grew up on heavy metal. It was before you ever had the label of power metal. So in a way, I think we are heavy metal. That is what we do. And I personally, I really don't know the difference between power metal and heavy metal, because when I started listening to Halloween, for example, they were a heavy metal band, and for me, they still are. So who cares? It's just a name. And
yeah, of course, there's a million categories now in metal, right?
Absolutely. I mean, in a way, it helps. I just learned that on the Metal Archives homepage, when you're labeled, we're now recently, they relabeled us power and heavy metal. So we get more fans when they look for the band, for the style name power metal, which is helpful. But honestly, it's just a name. It's metal. In a way, it's even rock and roll if you want so.
Can you tell us a little bit about the filming of Awaken the Thunder? My wife and I just watched it before we went on the air this morning. And I just woke up and I was like, all right, let's watch. We were scrolling through YouTube. I said, hey, let's watch this video again. I checked it out the other day. She was a little question on how it was filmed and where was it filmed. It was like a ruins or a castle type structure, a church or something.
That's a real cool story, actually, because we booked this guy, Mirko Witzki, who is making videos with whoever, and he did the last Powerwolf video, or the second one, the first one from your album. I don't remember the title, and a beast of something. And we booked him for the first time, and he said, okay, we will try to find a location, which is tricky with COVID around. And he said, we got a location for you. It's a castle. And I said, wow, great, show me where it is. And he sent me the link, and it's honestly, it's just 20 minutes from here. And so Mirko lives somewhere completely different, and he chose that location. And which was helpful because the guy who runs the castle turned out to be actually a fan of Hammer King. And he was very helpful throughout the day, and then got us electrical power to the top of the castle's tower, even if you wanted. So that was fantastic. We worked with the two very impressive actors for the first time. This Viking style guy and this extremely beautiful girl, actually. And they were doing a lot of filming, actually, basically more than we did. And then we started filming the performance sequences, and that was the first real hot day that we had here in Germany, which was almost knocking us out because we had to perform for 2 hours in the plain sun.
Oh, it was hot already. Okay, I didn't know that. Wow.
Very straining. And then the highlight came. We did some additional scenes on the top of the tower, which there is a roof over it. So on the top floor of it. And we had to bring everything up there, including the drums, which was interesting because some girls came around because of the music. And we made them carry the stuff up to the top of the mountain, top of the tower. And then we filmed it. And before we started filming, one take with the drums, that was all. And before we started filming, our bass player actually stumbled down the stairs and broke his elbow.
Oh, so no.
If you see him going like this in the middle of the song, he is actually doing this with a broken elbow, which is an impressive work if you really want to look great in the video. So it was a fantastic day. in the end, of course, the
Except for
damage is done.
except for the broken elbow wasn't the fantastic part. But it was.
But I must say, I really like the video. When you're doing a video, you're very critical on yourself, actually. And it's the first video where I really like watching myself. So that's job well done, actually.
And the Battle of Metal, breaking the elbow on the steps of the medieval castle. And,
Right.
and I guess another German band that I'm very passionate about, maybe you're friends with, Leaves Eyes, of course, that do.
No, I really don't know them personally.
Oh, you don't? Okay. You know, I've gotten to see them a few times in the States, and, you know, it reminded me of the same kind of a set with the castle.
Yeah, right. They did one too. They did one too.
Oh, yeah, they do. They do some videos like that also.
Yeah, we actually wanted also to use like a steel factory where you got the molten steel.
Yes,
it's absolutely impossible to get into that at the moment because with COVID around, it's very tricky.
I'm sure. Yeah, we're all living through this. Seems like a different chapter, but in the United States here at least, hopefully your country too, it's starting to come around. In fact, it's almost weird. Like here, the masks are off, there's concerts going on, and I'm like, wait a minute, we've been conditioned to stay in our homes and hide, and it's a little bit to getting used to being out in a big crowd of people.
Absolutely,
you know?
Yeah. I mean,
maybe I need a Viking shield to go out so people don't know who I am and they don't come up and go, hey, Steve, do you remember when I ordered that record in 1993? And I'm like, okay, stay back, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it will need some adjusting to get back to that, actually. Yeah.
It will. I guess, what other members are in the band currently? I'm not quite sure if we discussed that already. If you want to go over the current members in the band. And
of course, yeah. We have on the drums, we got Dolph A, Macallan, who is supposed to be from Scotland. And of course, on the bass guitar, we got the new man, Gladius Thundersword. He's the one with a broken elbow at the moment.
What a great metal name.
For 1 year, actually, we have not played a single show together because we have not played a show since the end of 2019.
Yes.
And it seems as probably his first show, he will not be able to play. We're keeping the thumbs crossed so that he probably will be able to play the show. And of course, my co-lead guitar player is Gino Wilde. And I've been playing with Gino even before this band. I think it's almost 23 years now. It's
wow.
Forever, basically forever. He's a very old friend and he is really a friend. And I mean, he is very much used to playing with me, which is helpful because I'm the kind of guy who always comes up with ideas. No, let's change it. Let's make it this way. And he is very, very much a team player and goes along with everything, which I'm very, very glad about, actually.
So you've been playing music for at least for a while now. You're saying 23 years with him. Yeah, and were you in some other bands before Hammer King?
Yeah, actually I was. I mean, I used to be the original lead vocalist of this guy called Ross the Boss, who's from New York City, actually.
Of course, we've had Ross on the show. We did a Manowar episode with Ross. Wow.
Very good. Yes, I remember. That was something. Yeah. And I was in that band, I think, from 2007 until 2013 or something. We did the first albums together and quite some shows. I even played, I can't remember the name of the venue, but I played New York City twice. The second time was Electric Bowery. I remember that one. That was
okay.
Very, very great. That was a great show.
Have you played the Chance up in Poughkeepsie?
I don't think so.
No, okay. So you were doing Ross the Boss material. Yeah. So you were doing the Manowar stuff too.
Yes. Oh yeah. I had to do that. Yeah. That was a very, very hard job.
another great band about from this genre, you know, of course.
Absolutely.
So you've been to the States, obviously, and you haven't toured with Hammer King in the States yet, though, correct?
No.
But you've been over here with
Ross. I would
totally
like to do that. I would totally like to do that. I mean, with Napalm Records, there is Napalm Booking, which is a booking agency, of course. So hopefully we will tour a lot.
Well, I've got a couple questions just for you. What's an album that changed your life, that got you into metal or rock, you know, in general?
It is either Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 2 or even the live album Live in the UK by Halloween.
Excellent.
So that was the first one.
And what are some of your other influences in music, or you know, concert that you're just a concert that was memorable? Just a little bit about you personally.
Well, there's a lot of different styles that I'm actually into. I mean, of course, Halloween was the beginning for me when it comes to heavy metal. And of course, there has to be Iron Maiden, and especially Judas Priest, especially the 70s stuff of Judas Priest is very, very close to my heart.
Yes.
Then I'm an absolute maniac when it comes to Rush. Sadly, I've only seen them twice, but it was amazing. The show, the Time Machine tour from Rush, that was one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. It literally was like the spaceship was landing and they came from a different planet. And after 2.5 hours, they were away and you were left alone on your world again. It was so amazing.
I got to see the Time Machine tour a couple times. I saw it in Madison Square Garden. I also saw it in Syracuse, New York at the State Fairgrounds. And that, what a memorable time. I'm lucky enough that I got to see them on the Hemispheres tour in Poughkeepsie, New York. And the young version of Steve was there for that. I caught them on Signals too. And then I got them on Counterparts. And then later on, like every year, I would just go see them because I just wanted to, and I knew, with all our classic bands, when you got the chance to go see Rush or Sabbath or anybody else, you knew that time was getting limited. And of course, now with the pandemic, we can't see anything. So, now we're starting to, but yeah, there's actually a great looking Rush tribute band coming here to the Orange County Fairgrounds in Middletown this summer. So I'm hoping to sneak over to that.
It will be interesting, especially for the drums and the vocals, actually. They're quite unique.
It's going to be, they kind of look like them in a picture. And hey, it's something at least to get out and see something live music outside. So it should be rather safe. But a couple songs that you would like to point out on the new album other than Awaken the Thunder that we should look for? That's, maybe the whole album's near and dear to your heart, but are there a couple highlights maybe to talk about?
I mean, in the early days after an album release, they keep changing back and forth. But at the moment, it's Awaken the Thunder, totally Hammerschlag, the German title, because we got the vocalist from Tankard on that song.
Okay.
He's singing with me, and we got the lead guitarist from Epica playing the first solo, and we got the Crusader from the Mighty War Kings doing the second one. And it was the first time ever for us to use guests on an album. And it was very inspiring to see and to hear what other people do with your music. And it really changed the song a lot, actually. So that is a special song. We totally love, everyone in the band loves Atlantis, which has this Savatage-like counterparts at the end, with counterpart vocals at the end of the song. And if I might pick another one, it's King of Kings, the closing track.
King of Kings, awesome. I will have to take a listen to those this afternoon when I go out for my exercise. I'm going to put that album on and take a listen and keep it fresh in my mind. Before I went on air, I found it interesting because when Titan came on, he goes, I'm a big fan of Pete Pardo, Sea of Tranquility. And it's amazing how like Pete's show and me being on Pete's show has bridged the gap in the metal community of reaching across. And there's a Facebook page from Butch Jones also called
I'm a member.
Oh, you are? Yeah. please share. We'll share this interview on there, of course. And
fantastic.
And what a small world it become because I'm doing this interview. I really don't know who I'm going to talk to or what kind of attitude we got. And working with Napalm, it's just been a pleasure. Everyone that I've talked to has been so so cool and got great vibes to talk to. And it's amazing how Pete Pardo has just come from doing this little channel, becoming, I nicked it. I kid with him all the time. I said, you're like the new Eddie, a new Eddie Trunk or another Eddie Trunk.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
Because he's so knowledgeable. He does shows every day because I do shows. And we took a little break with our show because a lot of the guys on Rock Fantasy Files channel, John McAtee, Will Carroll, Robin Mason, Andrew Freeman, Chris Caffrey. A lot of the guys are starting to get back out into working again now. And it was not as easy before. We were just locked up. It was 15 degrees out. You weren't allowed to go anywhere but the grocery store. And it was a way of channeling our energy. But we do plan on having some more episodes coming out soon. I know John just got back. John McAtee just got married and he's going to be having Dan Loker on from, Nuclear Assault, SOD.
Right.
We're going to be interviewing him soon. But we're not even talking about Hammer King now. We're talking about Sea of Tranquility and Rock Fantasy Files. So,
but it's fantastic being around you people.
Yes, and how do we find Hammer King on the web? Of course, I'm going to put some links in the description of the video today, so we'll link up your YouTube channel and everything else. So I guess we're kind of answering that question, but
I mean, in these days, it's practically easiest if you look us up on Facebook and on
Sure.
Instagram. It's Hammer King Official there. You will find us. We still have a traditional homepage, which is Hammer. Do you say slash or do you say minus? What do you say?
Mm-hmm.
We say Hammer. Yeah. We say hammer-king.com. That's what we say in German. So that's the official.
Search Google Hammer King band and you'll find it, right?
Probably you will. So yeah, of course. And that's the easiest way to get in contact with us, actually.
And on the new album, is that available on compact disc, digital, and is it available on vinyl?
On vinyl, in black, in sky blue, and in red, if I'm right. So we got three different versions of vinyl. We got compact disc, which is a digipack, and we, of course, you got the downloads as well, but who really cares?
Of course, I'm gonna have to see if I can pre-order, and I can't pre-order because it's out already. I'll see if I can grab some from my store, but if not, please go to Napalm Records. I'm sure you can order it directly from their website.
Totally. You can order it from us. You can order it from Napalm Records. Both is available.
Excellent. So please go out and support Hammer King during these times and the pandemic. I don't know how it is in Germany. Are things starting to loosen up there also?
I mean, Germany is a special country when it comes to things like this, because Germans do everything at least 150%. So we're way behind if you compare us to America, to United Kingdom, and so on. But I mean, if it happens in America, it will happen in Germany too. So that's always the rule. And we've got our first shows, I think, on July the 16th and 17th, which will be the belated release show now. And it's almost unreal. I mean, you got playing shows in your head all the time, but it seems to happen now. It will be so strange. I have not played a show in, I think, 19 months, which is the longest period I've never played a show in my life.
It's like anything else when you've been home. It's like relearning what to do and how to socialize and everything else. I mean, even when we weren't going to the grocery store, you first go to the grocery store, it's a new experience. Like, wow, I'm outside.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it? Yeah.
And so where are you?
Looking forward to that, absolutely.
Where are you doing those shows?
It will be in Mannheim. That's quite central in Germany. It's basically in the middle of Germany. So we're friends with a club which is basically as traditional as your record store. They've been around for a very long time, and they are very beloved. I mean, I saw Uli John Roth doing his 50th anniversary show at this club, and he said we wanted to do this show exactly there because the club is so rooted in real music, actually.
Okay.
We're friends with them, and they gave us the Friday and the Saturday slots to play 2 shows in a row, which would be fantastic. It's going to be open air because they got a small open air passage there, and
that's awesome.
Very helpful because open airs are allowed.
And that's good, though. I think it is a safer situation. Plus, it's nice outside. It's summertime,
Absolutely,
and you can get some fresh air. And we have a person that helps us out a lot. Was helping us out a lot with the channel. I haven't talked to her lately. Was Denise Donner from Heavy Metal Home TV. I'm not sure if you're familiar with her.
I don't think so.
She's done some episodes with us on the Rock Fantasy Files, also from Germany. And of course, I have a good friend in Doro Pesh, because Doro has done in stores with us, and we've always promoted her. Of course, Doro's like the queen of metal and ambassador of metal, from one of the ambassadors of metal from Germany. You know. And
Triumph and Agony of Warlock was my second heavy metal record in my life. That was the other one, other than Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 2.
Oh, I'm glad I brought her name up, so we joggled your memory on Doro. And that was such a great album, and Doro is such a sweet person. And if you're watching this, Doro, we'd love to get you on the Rock Fantasy Files one day. I try to track her down.
if you're watching this, I'd like to do a number with you together in the future.
That would be perfect also, correct? So I guess anything you'd like to add to the episode?
I mean, thanks for the support, basically. It's been a strange period of time that we all had to live through, and it's always very refreshing to talk with people, especially if you've known them before from watching their work. Thanks for doing what you do and for keeping up everything that goes with rock and roll for so many years, actually. And I mean, this is what music really needs. And if I'm ever playing the States and I'm around in New York City, I will definitely come to Rock Fantasy, definitely.
I'm
So
about
that will
an
be
hour
fantastic.
north of New York City, so you'll have to plan a half-day trip or something around an Uber.
It should be a day off then.
We have Poughkeepsie, New York, which is a Chance Theater too, which is our venue, which is about a 45-minute ride from. I have no
Okay.
venues in Middletown except for the Fairgrounds are starting to do some shows, but Napalm's been doing a great job and signing a lot of
Yeah.
good bands. I've become good friends with Prika from Nervosa, who's on Napalm also, and she formed that little like not little super group, but I call it a super group because they have Mia Wallace and Diva Satanica, and I've been really enjoying that album too from Napalm. So,
Well, so basically, thanks a lot for having us, and it's been a pleasure. Don't forget to say hi to Pete and to Chris Allo, the mighty Chris Allo, and to Butch, of course. So
I
thanks for
can't
having
wait
us.
to
It was a blast.
I can't wait to tell him that you call him the mighty Chris Allo. I have a
Oh
pile
yeah,
of records here on
I mean
hold for him right now.
he is godlike with his comments. It's
Chris
fantastic.
Allo and now we have Rich Catino on a lot. We have Ryan
Yeah.
Scow. We have Nick.
Right.
Yeah, and this week we're going to be doing the 1976, your best favorite albums
Oh,
from
cool.
1976. And I tell you, you look at the list.
Sad Wings of Destiny.
Sad Wings of Destiny for you? Okay.
I think so.
I was looking at, Kiss Destroyer, Aerosmith Rocks was that year. There's a bunch of good stuff that I grew up with.
Yeah. I mean, there's lots of good work actually. Spontaneously, I'd say Sad Wings. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to mention your name on Monday night. I'm going to say that Titans
Thanks a lot.
Sad Wings of Destiny, and we'll mention you on the Rock Fan on the Sea of Tranquility Hudson Valley Squares on Monday.
Thanks a lot. So I'm watching this. Absolutely. Thanks a lot.
Titans, stay safe over there in Germany, and
the
rock
same
on.
To you.
And
Thanks for the
please,
support.
everyone, support. I don't mean if I'm talking over you today, but I see my
the same here. The same here.
But it's Zoom, right? And thank you for your time today. And I hope you have a wonderful summer and things start to ease up in your country and all the luck in the world with getting back out there on that open air stage. And do you have any other bands playing with you at that concert? Do you have an opening act or?
I really don't know. I've asked the question. It's not been cleared so far if it's allowed or not. I mean, it depends on the backstage capacity. If it's only one room, there will not probably be another band. But we're prepared to play at least 18 songs, so it should be a long show.
And will you be doing any kind of a stream of that or filming some songs possible for a video or anything like that?
I definitely think that we will do that, yeah. I mean, if we have to use a replacement bassist because Gladius' arm is not there, it probably will not be up to par to release it. And I don't want to have a video with a different bass player.
That's true. That's true. So that fall down the medieval castle stairs is not good.
No, beware.
Beware of the evil castle. It's like a Ronnie James Dio song. All right. Well, thank you, Titan. And please, if you like the channel, please hit subscribe and check out some of the other videos that we have on the Rock Fantasy Files and go out and support the bands, man. Rock on. Stay safe.
Thanks a lot. The same to you. Stay safe.